Hello guys, welcome to Falafel Fi. Today I'm going to review this set over here, the PULA ARCs. And if I had to summarize this set is has very fun colorization. However, it's not the most accurate sounding or the most neutral. So if you're looking for something a little bit more fun, a little bit more different, this is a very good set for you. Or if you're a beginner and like just looking for a fun, thick sound, this is very good. I will explain more in the sound analysis, but yeah, it is a very good IM, just not the most accurate. So if you're a gamer, this is a no go for you, and if you are a little bit more experienced and specifically looking for just neutral, this isn't it. This is just fun, enjoyable listen, and different. Okay, so let's get... I will skip the accessories basically because it's just like a basic cable and a basic set of ear tips, small, large, and mediums. So yeah. Okay, so how does these sound? Well, like I said, it is a dark set. It has this nostalgia feeling of the early 2000s, like metal, new metal, alternative, grunge. It's basically where like most of the tracks there were like had emphasis on lower ends and the Britain's region, so the vocals, and didn't like usually the leads and everything weren't the focus. So if I had to give an analogy for this IM, it would be brownies. So brownies usually like has one note sweet taste, but it is very enjoyable nonetheless. You could eat brownies every day unless you religiously hate chocolate or like cake. So let's go to each section. So as for the bass, it has like a good bass shelf with focus on mid bass rather than sub bass. It has very good texture and quality as well. For the mids, it has a rich textured lower mids, and it has a very good presence region with good quantity, so it balances out the lower end a little bit, so it doesn't sound overly dull or overly dark. As for the treble, this is where it is just laid back, and like I said, this is where its accuracy sounds lacking because, yeah, compared to the lower end and to the presence region, the treble is very, very laid back. I wouldn't, not very, but you know, if there's a violin and vocals right next to each other, you could barely hear the violin. Same story for the air, but usually the air is laid back, so it is not that big of a problem. I would say that the lower treble is bigger, like a more noticeable retraction, but it is done in a very good way, so I'll explain more in the test tracks. So for sibilance test, of course, given the fact that the whole treble is rolled off, no sibilance at all. When it comes to what it does well, I was surprised that this IM over here does a lot of things well. Like I was thinking, okay, this is a thick presentation. Surely it will like have a very, very narrow selection of songs where it sounds good. But it didn't. Surprisingly, it performed well with a lot of tracks, even though it didn't sound accurate. It sounded fun. So for like slow and well mixed non-orchestra and asterisks on the non-orchestra tracks, so things like Hayley Williams, Aurora, Tame Impala, Paramore, it sounded amazing, although the vocals was a little bit husked up because of the boosted lower end, but very enjoyable nonetheless. This again falls under the theme of not accurate but fun. When it comes to like hip hop, I would say that, or synth wave, like songs that like energetic lower end bass with a little bit of balance between from like the upper mids and lower treble, I would say it performs here very well. However, if you are a dedicated hip hop listener, I would prefer something like the Tangzu Red Lion. The Tangzu Red Lion has more like better sub bass and more like rumbly sub bass. Here it's more thumpy, more impactful. So yeah, it will still sound good, but if your focus is hip hop, the Red Lions is better. So here we come to the next section, which is like medium to very busy tracks, and I was surprised first by this tuning, how well it was able to make these sound fun, and second by the performance of the driver itself. The driver here is like surprisingly good. It is fast, it's snappy, it has good transients despite the tuning. So things like Baby Metal, Knocked Loose, Polaris, 21 Pilots. Like at first, I thought these would sound dull, but because the Brisson's region or like the upper mids is boosted enough to balance the lower end, I was more than happy with how it was presented. And also here's the thing, I used the Sankai small ear tips, so it helped open up the sound a little bit. Now let's go to where does this perform exceptionally well. Of course, like early 2000 metal or like darker songs, stuff like this. So I had a like very good experience listening to Evanescence, even though the Amy's vocals sound a little bit husked up, but it was very enjoyable nonetheless. We Are Not Alone by Breaking Benjamin sounded very good on the set. Things like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Deftones, Meshuggah, Gojira, Health, all sounded very weighty, very textured, and also a little bit dynamic because of the balance between the Brisson's region and the lower end. Now, after seeing all of this, I've tried to look, okay, surely it cannot be just a very good all-rounder. There must be something missing. And it hit me on the track, all of this is fleeting by Polaris. The chorus on this song has a little bit of like high-pitched vocals, male vocals, along with violin. And this is the example I mentioned at the start. The violin is just almost I cannot hear it. And it further hit me that, okay, so this song cannot perform open and grand music very well. So orchestra. I'm not a very big orchestra listener, yes. But I'm a gamer, so usually soundtracks of games is very dramatic, very open. So I went ahead and gave a listen to Mass Effect 2, The Elusive Man, and yeah, it didn't sound correct. It didn't sound as dramatic as I remember it. Same story for Silver for the Monsters by Witcher 3. Like it just had a little bit of like this high energy that made everything more dramatic, more grand, that here it is missing. Same story for No Turning Back for like the Blake Tail Requiem. So yeah, this is where I would say it lacks. It is not as enjoyable. However, it is just easily fixable by simple BEQ like this one. So a high shelf at 3650 hertz. You don't have to be exactly accurate with these numbers. With quality of 1.4 and gain of 1.2. It helps, like if we imagine this is the graph over here with bass shelf and Brisson's region and rolled off treble. It's just this BEQ helps elevates this treble and bring it to a more neutral sound. And if you like BEQ, this will just give you an amazing listening experience on every tracks. If you love, or if you believe in BEQ, so a lot of people just like to have the IM for what it is and how it sounds. And also, if you like this, then this is still a very enjoyable set. It's just in those areas or in those songs. So let's go to the comparisons. The first IM compared to is the Tangzu Red Lion. Of course, the Red Lions have a wider soundstage, is more dynamic, and of course, its biggest strength is the accessories. This is right unbeatable at this price point. It has a set of Sankai ear tips. It has a set of Sonic ear tips. It has a small, like, pouch-like case. It has a lovely, although not very practical, microfiber cloth. It's just very good package. It's unbeatable. And of course, the cable is better as well. So yeah, if you are looking for just package, then this is straight up the better option. If you're looking for like sound quality only, then it is a little bit debatable depending on preference. So for instance, the PULA ARC is thicker, which isn't an advantage, it's just a preference. Has more textured lower end, has better technical performance, especially if you BEQ it. Even if without BEQ, it still has the more resolution, and with BEQ, it's just a different beast. Versus the Harmonic Empire Kai Wenji. The Kai Wenji is more vocal focused. Of course, it's cheaper, so this retails at 15 or less US dollars versus the PULA ARC, which is between 20, 25 US dollars. So yeah, again, this is very good. Despite having almost exactly the same package, this one has Sonic ear tips, so it's a better set of ear tips. And also it has the Sonic, yes, I have the Sonics here. And it also has better presentation, so like a little bit of enjoyment for your cheap IM. But again, if you're solely focused on sound quality, then the ARCs have the more textured lower mids and the better technical performance. Versus the KZ PRX. Of course, this is a planar, so it has the better technical performance. It has that slight metallic timbre at 8K. But overall, if you're just looking for pure technical performance, the PRX is better. But if you just hate KZ, like a lot of people do, then the PULA ARCs is just a thicker presentation, but very good technical performer. So let's go for the ratings. And on a scale of warm to bright, I would say that the PULA ARC is very warm, right above the Winter, because the Winter has a little bit more air and a little bit better treble. On a scale of U to V-shaped or versus flat, I would say it is more on the V-shaped side. Actually, I would put the... Oh, sorry. I would put the red lines here. The red lines is very well balanced, very dynamic. On a scale of musical to... Okay, thank you. On a scale of musical to analytical, this scale does not compare IMs with each other. It rather represents how the IM itself balances its musicality versus its analytical representation. So, of course, the PULA ARCs here is on the more musical side. It doesn't try to show off in the details. Now, when it comes to relative technical performance relative to each other, I would say that the PULA ARCs is on the higher end of sub $100 IEMs. On a scale of narrow to wide, when it comes to soundstage, I would say it is very intimate. It has great depth, but very intimate. So one song in particular, Until I Die, Until the End, by Breaking Benjamin, the live version. The bass and Ben's vocals is just right in front of my face, was good like perceived soundstage between them. However, the lead guitar and the crowd is just way back. It has a fun soundstage. It's just again falls under the theme of fun but not accurate. When it comes to scale of beginner to advanced, by this scale I mean how easy for you to notice all the strengths of the IM. And I would say the PULA is on the beginner side, but I wouldn't say it is the most beginner friendly IM. You will notice you will appreciate it on like repeated listens, just like I did. It is not brain burn in. It is like more of, oh, this is very thick. I expect it to sound horrible on all of my music, and it doesn't. It has very fun representation. So yeah, it takes a little bit for you to just get like, oh, this sounds actually very good for a laid back treble set. When it comes to all-rounder versus niche, by this I mean something like the Duno Brain Dance. It's just like treble. It has specific strengths, which is technical performance and treble, versus something like the T Pro, which is an easy listen. You plug it in and you can listen to anything with it. I would say, of course, the PULA ARC is on the more niche side, owing to its tuning. But it is very good all-rounder still. Like, it is closer to all-rounder than niche. Now, when it comes to perceived value, I would say it has very good value for its price, given that you order it around the $20 US, right before, of course, the Tangzu Wan'er 2, and of course the red line is just a whole different beast altogether. But it is still very good value, and if all you are looking for is enjoyable and fun and also good technical performance, this is the best set out of all the sub $20 US. And also, if you're looking for the best technical performance and you don't mind using parametric EQ, then the PULA again is just very good for this. So this will do it for the PULA ARC review. I hope you liked my breakdown. I will link the detailed notes in the description, and yeah, see you in the next review. I believe it will be on the Errant Resonance files, which I'm really excited to review. So yeah, see you.